Hey Hawks, I'm Alexa Bacani, and welcome back to the show A Little Bit of Light, where we talk about mental health. So today we are here with Mr. Totaro. So,
Hey, great
and
again.
I want to say thank you for joining us today. It means a lot to me, and I'm sure students who watch this would love to have you on because he was highly requested to be on the show. Um, So today we'll be talking about with exams coming up, managing a personal life and studying for the exams because we only have like 2 weeks left before it's summer break. So, Mr. Totaro, I want to ask you, with exams coming up, why do you think, as a teacher, it's important for students to have a balance between school and personal life?
Well, if you don't have that balance, then it's going to affect your performance on the tests. It's that simple. So every single day, you got to give yourself something that motivates you, that you're personally interested in, or you're going to lose track. It's impossible for you to spend hours and hours on studying your subjects, studying for your AP test, studying for your final exams, and perform well. Right? You have to give your body and your mind breaks. Right? So that's the most important. I know it's very difficult for juniors. I know it's very difficult for seniors to keep their focus at this time, particularly given the strange circumstances we're in because everything with COVID. But the things that you decide to do today when you're in high school has long-term effects for your life, and they're important. Right? But you have to try to find that balance. And the only way it works for me is trying to find a balance is by literally figuring out what I have to do day by day. And then I just make a list and then I organize it according to what my schedule is going to be. And then I just try to stay on track. And then I don't stress out too much about things that like I can't control. I try to only focus in on the things that I actually can control. And everything that's outside of that, I try to let it just slide off my shoulders.
I think that's a wonderful thing for students to know, and I love how the fact that you brought up like some the things that you do now in life will like create like more memories and with like a personal life because let's
Mm-hmm.
be honest, it is hard to get an A and to maintain A's, and it's just like, will you like actually like remember like having like A's in high school, or would you rather remember like spending the day with your family at like the park?
Uh-huh.
Because like you said, like staring at a screen all day,
Yeah.
using Quizlet, like reading flashcards and stuff does get tiring. It really does. And having what is it called? The motive or like the thought of content, like I have to study, like sorry, I can't hang out with you, I have to study. Like I'm sure there are many things in life that
Right.
we want to focus more on, but
Mhm.
like it's like you only have one life to live.
Right.
And do you really want to spend like continuous hours just like studying? It's just like you need to have fun a little bit in your life. Like live a little bit, You only
Yeah.
have one life to live.
For sure. For sure.
So
Those I think forming those, memories are very important. You're only 16, 17, 18, 19 years old, for that period of time in your life. So experience everything you possibly can, right? Because truly, this is going to be the last time in your life where you're going to get these experiences and you're going to get educated and somebody else is going to pay, right? Everybody who pays taxes, your parents, your teachers, everybody is paying for you to have these experiences, right? Whether it's prom, whether it's the summer school things that are coming up, it's going to be the last time in your life probably that other people are going to pay for you, right? Because when you're an adult, you're going to have to pay for yourself, right? So take advantage of them now that you can, and while they're still free.
that is so true. It's crazy that adult life is almost like coming. So, with the exams coming up and you being a teacher, um, how do you, I know, I'm sure you get stressed with all that too, make sure everything's all perfect for all of us. So how do you like manage your stress with work life and then, your life behind the scenes?
In my life, the most important stress reliever is exercise. So as soon as the 24-hour fitness on Ann Road opened up, I joined that. That closed down during COVID, and that was one of the hardest things mentally and physically for me because when I exercise, my mind goes to a different place and I forget about everything that I'm thinking about, and it just clears my head. You get that endorphin and adrenaline release, and it's like a shock to your system, and you just think clearer. and you're energized now to do stuff. And so during COVID, I kind of just put together some equipment that I was able to get on OfferUp, and I was able to get on Amazon, and I had a little workout space in my house, but it was kind of inadequate. I really enjoy working out in a gym. So luckily EOS opened up, right over here by Kohl's on Durango. And for the last 6-7 weeks, I've been going like 6 days a week. So pretty much once I leave school, I go, I change, and I exercise for 30-35 minutes, and I get all, sweated up. I go home, I relax for a little bit, and then I got to do all the things that, I have planned for my evening, because I'm involved in a lot of different stuff. I'm the president of my HOA. I'm involved with the teachers union. I'm involved with this political stuff, that political stuff. But I always try to find 30 minutes per day to exercise. So exercise on the daily is really important for me, like 6 days a week.
Wow, exercise is good. Like just getting your blood pumping and making sure like you're like, sweating, because I heard it does like help clear like with mental clarity and stuff. So I love that for you. Exercise is not for everyone, but exercise is definitely one of like the like better things. So
Absolutely.
I wanna know, like you said, like you found that within you. How would you like help students like who are struggling to like um find like what makes them like lose their stress? Like how some people read. Like, do you ever like have like those students who are like struggling, and like what would you like say to them?
Would find your interests. Everybody has different interests. I mean, I love to read too. Like reading is the thing that puts me to sleep. so so when I lie down in my bed at night, I try to read for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and I always have a book going. But for some people, that might not be it. Maybe it's 30, 45 minutes of listening to music. Maybe it's 30 to 45 minutes listening to your favorite show or watching your favorite show on Netflix. Or maybe it's going on a walk around your community or walking your dogs or something like that, or maybe it's your soccer practice or whatever sport you play, but you got to find something there on the daily that you look forward to. Because if you don't find something on the daily that you look forward to, I think that's what creates stress, and that's what creates frustration, but you got to give yourself something like that, and I try to give myself multiple things. Like I said, exercise is real important. And then in the evening, like right before I go to sleep, I try to watch maybe a Netflix documentary or something, and then I'll read for 30 minutes. And that's just trying to like switches my mind off. So those are the two things that work for me. Also hiking. Like I love hiking as well. So once every couple weeks, once every month, I try to get out to Red Rock, try to get out to Mount Charleston and try to do a hike. So getting out of just human civilization, getting out into nature, breathing fresh air, it resets my batteries for a couple days. So hiking is a big thing for me as well.
Wow, hiking is that's definitely a challenge, and I like how you always like say like that something is out there for you, because going back to like studying and stuff, or like just looking forward to something every day, since like school does start really early and it ends at like 1:25. Like just doing like knowing you have something to look forward to like after school can like definitely like clear the cloud of like thoughts, because if your mind is so full of thoughts, like that impacts the way you work, impacts the way you work with other people, because you're like I always say this on the show, like your bottle is getting full and you need to release it. If
Yeah.
like you're not the type of person who talks, like about your feelings, like release it through like jump roping, or release it through reading, through writing. There's so many things that you can use to like release your stress.
Mm-hmm.
So I like how you like shared like that you go hiking. Like I don't think I could ever do that. So applause to you.
You don't think
But
you could
I'm
ever go
glad
hiking?
that.
I'll
I don't
we'll
think I
get
ever go
we'll get
hiking.
you
I'm
on a
so
hike. We'll get
scared.
you on a hike. No, you could hike around Tule Springs. Like, I mean, a hike could just be a walk around Tule Springs. That's a hike. You could do it. I swear.
I definitely should try that. That will be on my bucket list. So we'll be going to break now. So we'll see you guys after the break. welcome back, Hawks. Welcome back to our show, A Little Bit of Light. So we want to give a shout out to our brother show, Homework Hotline. They premiere every Thursday. And next week is the last show of Homework Hotline. So if you want to, get knowledge in before exams start, definitely check it out. And I just want to say a quick thank you to Mr. Totaro, Miss McLean, and Jose for helping with the show. It's been an amazing ride, and I'm so thankful and grateful for you guys. Um, so as the weeks are going, and I tend to slack. What would you, Mr. Totaro, say to the students who are stressed during the last weeks of school and who are falling off the wagon because it's easy to say, oh, we got 2 weeks left. You know what? I'm just gonna aim my way through. So, what would you say to those students?
No, I understand. I empathize because I graduated from Durango in the late 90s. And I remember I was working at Albertsons 20, 25 hours a week. And I knew I was already accepted to UNLV. So I focused in mostly on my fourth year English class. And I focused in, mostly on my government class because I knew those were the ones that I needed. And I had a shortened schedule. Back in the day, we didn't have modified block. We only had, traditional 6 classes. And I think my senior year, I only had 4 classes, I think. so I understand totally, completely how you want to take a break your senior year because I was there, right? I did it. But you got to remember that, if you apply to really prestigious schools, big schools, they're going to be looking at how well you do on your final exams, and they're going to be looking at how well you finish up your final semester. If you screw up and don't get decent grades your final semester and it ends up on your transcript, that could affect whether or not you get, enrolled or accepted to a school, right? So you got to keep that in mind, right? So that's important. Something that was best for me, and that didn't come till a little later. It came in my early 20s. Was I used to be a really big procrastinator. I would wait and then I would cram and get stuff done at the last minute. But as I've gotten older, particularly when I got to graduate school, my 22, 23, I really learned that when you take your study habits and you spread them out equally, so you do just a little bit each night, 30 minutes here, 20 minutes here, 30 minutes here, as opposed to doing 3-4 hours beforehand, it's a lot better. It alleviates the stress and the worry. And I think you just remember the material better, but that was something that in my life, with me, it didn't come till a little later on, but the earlier that you can get those study habits, I think is the best, is better for you. Yeah.
I definitely need to hear that because I do procrastinate. I'm a junior, and it's so easy to procrastinate since it is the most stressful year of high school. It's known to be that, and it is definitely that. So, you giving advice to me as a student, and I'm sure everyone else who's watching this, um, definitely helps because we us students tend to think that, oh, I'd spend an hour on this, an hour on this, and there's only so much time in a day, and there's the school year literally went by so fast. I can't believe that it's literally ending so soon. Where did the time go?
Yeah.
So it's definitely very easy to slack, right? So my next question
really
is,
bad for you guys, seniors. It's hard enough to keep focus in a normal year, but to have an abnormal school year like this was, I've been in CCSD over 25 years as a student and as a teacher, and this is the most abnormal year ever. It's difficult as a senior to keep focus anyway, but then to keep focus where you weren't even at the school, and then all of a sudden, if you chose hybrid, then you're coming to the school, but then there's not that many kids in class. It really is difficult, and I feel bad for your senior class. I do, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? That's how I feel. So you learn from
yeah, that is so true, and it definitely is a crazy year for both teachers and students.
it.
So I wanted to ask during this crazy year it's been, how do you during the last weeks manage to keep the energy going within students to make sure that they finish off strong?
Well, It's difficult. This year's the most difficult because what I think, why do kids take science? Why do they take? Because I teach AP Environmental, I teach geoscience. It's so that they could do labs, they could do activities, they can experience that kind of thing. I think a lot of people associate that with science, and the sad part is, I can't offer that to students because we can't give them the full classroom experience. So what I try to do is I try to break up my lessons to where it's not just about me the whole time. I try to teach maybe for 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes, and then I break it up and I have the kids do different activities where they're going online, or activities where they're working on a project or something like that, to where I could try to break up the sessions. Because it's not easy where you got an hour and 40 minutes in the morning and then 35 minutes in the afternoon. It's difficult to keep it on track. But I mean, that's what I try to do as a teacher, is to not just do one thing for like an hour, but to try to break up the lesson. That's I mean, I can't think of anything else.
I'm sure that is difficult with the lab, because I take physics, and like physics is like very like lab like dominant,
Yep.
and so like doing it like online, I'm sure like for your classes it's hard as well, with like labs and stuff, and doing it like on paper. I think that's very like important, like to split it up, because it does get tedious, sitting with your laptop for an hour and 45 minutes,
Yeah.
and it's just like, oh, like when will this class end? So I like that's how you try to keep
Yeah.
like your classes going.
It's the
And
worst. It's the worst in science. I'm not dissing English teachers or, dissing math teachers. But an integral part of the science experience is doing labs. Doing the activities, watching demos. That's an integral part of taking a science course, and I wasn't able to offer any of that. I tried to find virtual labs as much as possible. But a virtual lab isn't a real lab. It's an online lab. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, this year and the last year and a half is such an exceptional year that we made the best. We did the best that we could with it.
yeah, that's 100%. And I noticed that you mentioned that you teach AP Environmental Science. Since I don't know if that AP class already took their exams. Did they already take their exams?
Take it on Friday.
Oh, I wanted to ask, because I do have a couple of friends who are taking that class. Like, what would you say to the students who are nervous taking the AP Environmental Science class? Like, what advice would you give to them for their AP class?
To my AP kids, like the best way to practice is I enabled and unlocked, multiple practice tests in AP Classroom. And the best way to prepare for AP tests is just practice actual AP tests. That's the best. So I give them a big old like APES review worksheet. They take the time to fill out that APES review worksheet, watch the review videos, and then I give them some review sheets. Fill that out like over the last 2 weeks, before test on Friday, and then actually seriously do the multiple choice and the free response sections, so that you try to mimic exactly what the test is like. That's the best, right? The thing that's unfortunate is I'm only able to give them online tests, and they have to take a real paper and pencil test, and I'm not able to give them feedback like I normally am with like the free response questions. So they're kind of like up to themselves, this year with kind of how they have to interpret the scoring of the free response questions. But what can you do? Okay, we're in the situation we're in, right?
Here's advice for you guys who are taking the AP Environmental Science class. And I wanted to focus on the students who because you did have to pay for the AP test, and with the world that we live in now, I can understand why students who do take the class, or any AP class, why they didn't want to take the AP exam. And I know some students feel guilty that oh, I wasted all my time taking this class when I'm not even gonna take the exam. So what would you say to those kids who are in your class, or any AP class, who feel guilty that they weren't able to take the test, or aren't confident that they would pass the test?
It's been shown again and again and again that the best preparation you can have in high school for what you're going to see in college is AP courses. right? So whether or not you take the test or not, just the rigor, the amount of studying, the amount of work you put in your AP courses, and I'm not lying here. What I'm going to tell you here is the absolute truth. Like, I had some really good teachers at Durango, and I didn't appreciate them as much as I do now. Because now that I've been a teacher for almost 20 years, I completely understand how good they were, right? And I had teachers at Durango that were better than my first and second year professors at UNLV, truly. Right? And I mean, maybe I don't remember the content because it's, whatever, 25 years ago, but they were great teachers, and really it prepared me for what I saw, at even a higher level than first couple of years in some courses at UNLV, for sure. Truly.
That's I don't even know what to say. Like, that is definitely important to know. And like with like professors and stuff, like it's very easy to feel guilty and to like talk down upon yourself because we're human. It's natural to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to thank you, Mrs. Tara, again so much for joining us on today's show. I really truly love doing these shows, and we're each show that we do and each topic that we talk about, we're helping destigmatizing it in the world and hopefully at our school, because truly is something important and it means so much to me.
Awesome.
So I definitely want to thank you and thank Miss McLean. She's definitely been like supportive with me doing this. I want to give like a shout out to Miss McLean. Jose, he's been very supportive as well. He's been texting me like, "Girl, you did so good," so I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Our last show. Thank you. Our last show would be next week with not only me but with the other two wonderful girls who have been running the show, Riley and Rachel. So if you guys want to tune in on our last show, it will be next week on Tuesday. And don't forget that at the end of the day, there will always be a little bit of light. So, bye.